Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again, back playing some more Forza. We're going to be starting up another series. That's right, I'm already doing a Falcon Arrowhead circuit series, but we're going to start another one up with the new Hot Wheels DLC cars released. We're going to see which one of them is the fastest around a very specific track. And I've set a time with the Hoonigan RS200, one of the best off-road cars in the game, but it's not too fast in S1. It's only got like 300 horsepower, right? In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at how much power it's got. 400 horsepower, better than I thought. But still, for S1 class, that's basically nothing. And we're going to see which one of these cars will be the very best for S1 class off-road racing. Why off-road? Why S1? Because some of the cars, if I wanted to do A class, some of the cars just start too high, like the Ford Mustang. It just can't get down to A class. Same with the twin mill, can't get down to A class. So we're going to do S1 since every one of these cars can be thrown into S1 with little regard to safety or concern. And Bone Shaker I think is still banned in Rivals events, so we will need to do like a normal race, but just let the AI go ahead and then use that lap time to count. But first we are going to do the International Harvester. Why? It seems to be the best car for off-road racing in this pack, next to the Nash. So we're going to reset the default upgrades, and in order to get these vehicles to the top of S1, I will engine swap or drivetrain swap as needed. I'll probably almost always be doing all-wheel drive because S1 off-road races basically require it. And I will be putting in the best engine. That'll usually be the latest one. And for a lot of these cases, that will be the 7.2 Racing V8. It's a ton of power. It'll be really good. I'm also going to be using Forza Aero. Not that it matters too much for off-road racing, but it does help. We're going to be putting on the Rally Tire Compound. And rims, I will be making lighter if I need to. Those will be fine. Now this truck is already pretty good from standard, so I think it's going to have a good chance at going quickly here. Roll cage does help, so I will put it in. Now we can't remove too much weight from this, there's already not much truck left. So we will put it on just because it won't do too much. And we may need to aspiration swap. Yeah, we are going to need to aspiration swap. This truck might not get to the top of S1 without race tires. Oh well. We'll just make it as good as possible. If it's within 20 PI of the top, I'll say it's good. I think every one of these cars should be able to do that. We are at the maximum power. And we can't change really anything with these tires or wheel combos, at least on this truck. We will install this setup. Now this truck obviously has a lot more power than the Hoonigan test vehicle. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to tune all these vehicles. About 25 PSI. I'll set the gearing fairly tight. This is not too fast of a track. I'll set the top speed to be about 170, which should be easily achievable in any S1 class car. Although this one, you know, it's shaped like an actual barn, so maybe it'll need to be fully geared out to actually hit it. Maybe it can't even hit at all. Nope, it's not going to be able to hit it, so I'll do 160 for this vehicle. That'll just make it actually accelerate. I'm not too fussed about like specific gears or anything like that. All this is fine. For aero, I will almost always have it high, but the back will usually not be maxed out. It'll be whatever gets us the most lateral Gs. Lateral Gs do help us. And that's our max right there, 400. Brake will be a little bit higher so we can stop on dirt. Front diff will be set to low so that we don't get too much understeer. Rear diff will be fairly high. And I'll mess around with the balance to see what gets us the best 0 to 60, 0 to 100 times. The more to the rear it is, the safer I feel, because that means we're going to get less understeer and a little bit more oversteer. Prefer a little bit of oversteer over too much understeer. Our car is ready to go. And we need to go and find our racetrack. Where was it? It's the one someplace down here. Here it is. Ashbrook Loop. So our International Harvester is ready to go with its gigantic twin wings. And we got a 111.311 in the Hoonigan. Now the Hoonigan, not too fast in a straight line, but obviously one of the top handling off-road cars in the game. We may have a challenge for us in the first episode. An interesting camera angle right there. I will give myself 5 laps, just like the Falcon Arrowhead circuit. Now, the Hoonigan, I give it 1 flying lap just to set a time. Suspension a little soft. That's on purpose though. You can obviously catch it quite a bit up the hill with, 4 times as much horsepower as it. Now, this truck does have one disadvantage in that its physical size is a hindrance to visibility. You can see we're not falling too far back in the turns despite its size. Should have been on the brakes more for that one. Oh well. First lap will always get to be learning what the vehicle is capable of around this track. This is where our sheer power advantage comes into play. I suspect a lot of vehicles in this series will have similar horsepower numbers, so this will be the proper benchmark. Up the hill, we should really run away from that Hoonigan. Downshifting the third probably was not the best choice there. It did not hurt my time though, too much. Now, I remember from the Hoonigan, it was flat almost all the way through here, but don't forget, only 400 horsepower. You can see it actually has caught up some in these turns, but now it's just a straightaway to the finish line. Shouldn't have too many problems beating it to the line here, and this will be a proper benchmark. We will continue lapping. Let's see if we can better that time. I always hated that little pause that it does when you beat a time. You should do it after you complete the thing. Here we can really see the power advantage. And having it at 160 actually was a good call for this truck actually, because it doesn't really have much more to give. We're right at the top of the rev range, but not at the rev limiter, so we are right at peak power. It could use maybe one more gear, but oh well. This lap has been dirtied. I will count dirtied laps. Not that it matters. This lap was gone anyways from the start because of the pause giving me a bad line. I may or may not try to use this line on the outside to get a better run. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Power, less control, but power other. Ah, god dang it. I should have slowed down to take that turn other. I don't know why I looked back. You should never look back on a Rivals event. What are you doing that for? I left it in fourth that time. Good call. I think this truck would be much better suited to A-class off-road racing, but as I said before, not all the cars in the Hot Wheels class can be put into A-class. Some start in S1. Some work best even in S2. Yeah, before I was just hugging the inside of that way too much, and I didn't lift there. Didn't lift there. Probably could use the rocks there to an advantage, but I took a really bad line there. Wide through there. Hoonigan is catching up. Hoonigan has passed. It's not unexpected for it to pass there. That will mean that our first flying lap was our best. Unless I can get a miracle here. I'm not going to be able to though. First flying lap was the best. That'll be it for the International Harvester. It gets a time of 110.5. Next up, I don't know what we'll take a look at. Probably the Studebaker. It's wacky, it's quirky, just like this. So it'll be the Studebaker next up. If you guys are up for that, then please do go ahead and leave a like, favorite, comment, share, and of course don't forget to subscribe as well. Thanks, Game Boy Out. I'll see you all in the future. Goodbye.